Welcome to the Two Beast Podcast. We're Chris and Ollie, and we wanted to find out what happens when you commit to making 100 episodes of a brand new podcast.
Join us each week as we explore the worlds of fitness, improving ourselves, and things that make us laugh. Let's jump in to this week's episode. Not everyone needs a podcast, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Not everyone needs a podcast.
Welcome back to the Two Beast Podcast.
But
another one of those motherfuckers.
Two people that do need a podcast.
Of all
is
the people
us.
in the podcasting game, we need one the most.
Yeah,
we are the best people to do a podcast, and we are going to prove that thusly. I'm feeling it today, mate. It's going to be a good one today.
Feeling the vibe.
Yeah.
Feeling the vibe.
Episode 30 is going to be a good one. I'll tell you a little story if you want. I think we should start our podcast from now on.
Shit, is this episode 30?
Yeah.
Holy
It's mental, isn't it?
shit.
I think we should start podcast from now on with a little story of some description, just get people in the flow, do you know what I mean? Like get people on board, because I know like Jocko does it, but I was thinking about it the other day, I was like, you know what actually gets people in the mood for a pod? Like when you start listening, what actually gets you gripped? And so like, it doesn't have to be said perfectly, but it is just when people just say something that's happened to them recently or something like that.
Jocko's is, most of the time, is pretty...
Yeah, sometimes they're a bit dark.
Hits hard, don't they?
Yeah.
They hit different.
Yeah, if I've got to tell a story like Jocko, then we're in trouble. But so start of the week, right? I've had, since the new year's been coming, I've had this new routine I've been following, or like basically my old routine, but with a couple of bits added in. It's been intense as fuck, to be honest with you. It is a bit of a house of cards. At some point, it is all going to come crashing down around me. But each week that drifts by where that doesn't happen, I'm happy.
Pretty sweet.
So anyway, I thought it was going to happen this week because I woke up Sunday and I thought, I don't feel quite right. And I went to the gym and I was like, everything I'm doing here, it should be hard, but this feels a little too hard. What is going on? And then wake up Monday feeling like absolute shit. Your boy has the flu. And I'm thinking, fuck. So I come home, I start work late, probably 4 hours late, and I'm just in an absolute shit state. But I was thinking to myself, see, in previous years, when I hit this level of illness, my mind has always jumped to, okay, you need to, you're not going to be able to do your routine now. You're going to have to change your routine to a lesser routine while you recover. And watching people like Russ Cook, Hardest Geezer, Run the Length of Africa, you see him all the time come into these situations where his back's fucked, he's miserable. And to be fair, he does often lower the mileage and he does often, injury manage. And it's not like Goggins where he would just fucking run for it and completely break himself off. But one of the things that he said helped him through that was the same thing we've talked about before, this stack of proof that he has, that he's had injuries like this in the past and he's pushed through them and it was okay. So I was like, let me try and use this illness now as an experiment to see if indeed I can continue with my normal routine even under these conditions. Because if I do it today, then when tomorrow comes, I know I did it yesterday, and that's going to help me. It's going to help me just get through it, stay motivated. It's not going to let demons into my head and all the rest of it. So by the fucking skin of my teeth and the hair of my nuts and a long hearty nap in the middle of it, by fucking God, I did it. So that was sweet. Next day, woke up about 90% better. Today, 2 days on, feeling absolutely fucking brandy. There you are. What do you think of that?
What do I think of that? Do you think that you were actually as ill as you thought you were on that Sunday?
Sunday I didn't really feel that ill. I just knew something was wrong. Monday I felt ill, but I thought it wasn't like desperate levels by any means. I've been iller. I just didn't know if it was going to be the start of something more, if you know what I mean. I didn't know if I'd bottomed out yet. So from a mental perspective, in terms of trying to justify continued working. You know, the demons come in your head and they go, if you work really hard today, you might make it worse and you might push yourself too hard and you might get more ill tomorrow. What you should do is probably take a step back and rest now. That was the main thing that I was fighting with. There was a bit of it where it was like, I do just feel like shit. But the bigger demon in my head was saying, oh, you're going to make it worse if you carry on. That's the one I wanted to disprove, if I could.
Yeah, I think, and what's interesting, the takeaway from this is how many different levels of importance the idea of training and fitness is. Because essentially what it gives you is like an ability to know your body and know when things are changing, and to then decide whether, like you had to do, decide whether you do need to stop and slow down or whether you can just carry on.
Yeah.
I think without that ability, you just go through life being like, oh, well, I'm ill, I can't do anything now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Whereas when you train and you're into fitness, there's that ability to know, okay, I felt like this before, but I felt like this before after doing like a lot of heavy training.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily mean I'm ill.
Yeah.
Could just mean I'm run down and I need to recover and whatever, that's fine. But then, like you had in the gym, there's that you can almost immediately tell, like in those first couple of lifts where you're like, something doesn't feel quite right here. That is like a pretty important skill, I think, to be able to generate.
I think there's multiple levels to that because, yeah, at the end of the day, I could tell that something was off, but also how much of that was manifested by the fact that I was now thinking down that line. This is the thing I often consider. So like when I was in the middle of the pull-ups, let's say, I wasn't really able to judge whether or not I was genuinely unwell until after the fact, in hindsight. Like at the time I was just thinking, maybe I'm just having a weasel day, because I've had weasel days before where I've gone in and things have felt hard and actually I've ended up getting a PB. So it's all bollocks, isn't it? But yeah, so as I'm going through it, I'm trying to keep things as, I'm looking for reasons to continue rather than looking for reasons to stop, if you know what I mean. And I've been accused before of being stupid, like with certain things, but you're talking about finding your limits and using fitness as a tool to find your limits and what your body's capable of. The problem with that is the only way that you're going to find where the limits are is to push past them. Which means you're going to hurt yourself. Now, you obviously don't want to be an absolute fucking dickhead, but there are going to be inevitably times when you push too far and everyone calls you stupid. And actually, you're not stupid. You just know more about yourself now than they know about themselves. And you still probably did more than what they could do anyway. About 70% chance of that. So, sweet. Where was I going with that line of thought?
I'll save you.
Yeah.
I'll save you.
Yeah.
So for me, the classic thing I've always had is like the protecting my ability to be able to do my job.
Yes.
That's always been my hindrance in terms of pushing my own limits.
True.
Because what I don't want to end up is pushing myself so hard that I'm so ruined that then when I come into route set the next day and I can't because my body's fucked, right? So that's always a line that I'm very sort of tightly walking.
Yeah. Well, yours is kind of like tax. You've got to keep so much back for tax. So you like in training, you've always got to keep a little bit of tax for like just everyday life. You don't want to
value training tax. VTT.
otherwise you do what I fucking did with the 48 and 48, where I couldn't walk and then suddenly everything got put on hold.
Yeah.
Like, I was useless to everyone, to the world for 6 weeks. And your tax is just a little bit higher than most because your job is primarily focused on physical fitness.
Yeah.
So that's going to really fuck you if you don't.
Yeah.
That's changed a little bit though, if you know, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's moving into that realm. It's slightly moving into more of my management role that I've had for a while. It's going to slightly, I won't talk about it too much for a minute because it's not fully confirmed. But there is a change where I will be hopefully, and this was always the plan with my role in my job, was to kind of move more into like the managerial side of things so that I didn't have to set and sort of ruin my body for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
So
what are you going to do with the extra, now that you don't have to pay that fitness tax on
So
your
to
job,
speak.
what are you going to do with
Yeah.
all that extra training potential? Or are you just going to say, fuck it, I'm just going to take it easier from now on?
Nah.
No.
Nah.
I didn't think so.
That's boring.
Yeah, I didn't think you were going to do
That's
that.
boring. You can't do that.
I thought that sounded a bit fucking lame.
No, because I think what it actually allows you to do is go and do other things in some regard. Like, it means I don't have to be so focused on my job. It's a nice balance, I think, more than anything else. So that I can now be like, okay, if I want to put more effort into my personal climbing and I want to push that, I can do, because I have the ability to train more now. And I guess you can always have that thing, can't you, where it's like, oh, well, you probably did have enough time and you probably could have done it, like even when you were route setting full time. And people do it. It's not a thing. I just don't think it's sustainable. It's not. It can be done, yes. Is it the smartest? No. And that's kind of how you sort of judge those situations, really.
What are the long-term risks of route setting as a career? What's going to break first?
It's a tricky one, because route setting in and of itself, and route setting as like a full-time job, has only been around for probably like 15, not even 15 years.
But you know what it's not like you're in a coal mine. It's not like you're breathing in fumes.
No, not at all. So your body is basically going to be the thing that's going to go first.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, where you're constantly drilling all the time, so your shoulders are getting battered. Obviously up and down ladders, across like mats, knees are going to get knackered. It's kind of like your joints, I think, are going to be your elbows from, if I think about stuff that like people I know that have got, it's like wrist, elbow, shoulders, all of that sort of stuff, really.
And what's the difference between route setting for the next 10 years and training in the gym for the next 10 years? Is it just like lack of form, or?
Difficult one. I think it's almost just what do you want to do as an individual.
I see.
Like for me, I have other things that I want to do. My entire life is not just being a route setter.
Yeah.
Right. So I want to go and run this 100k race. I want to improve my own climbing. I'd like to get into other speed. There's loads of things that I still want to do. And I think for a lot of people, when they are full-time route setters and that's all they do, that is life, man. Like they don't care about doing anything else, whereas I'm not really cut from that same cloth.
No.
I do like going and doing other things.
So basically, your fucking body's going to fall apart anyway, but you'd rather just not spend the time you have left doing route setting only.
Yeah, and to me, like as much as I love route setting, to bit like what it's almost done now is because I don't get to do it as much. I cherish that time that I actually get to do it more.
Yeah.
Like I appreciate that time more. Whereas before it's like, that's just what I do. I just get up and put holes on the wall, right? But now it feels like I kind of have that, like, I can actually get to route set today. That's well good, rather than sat behind a computer and doing all that sort of stuff. Which weirdly is still quite fun, because it's not like I'm sat in like an office doing like numbers for a fucking, I don't know, like a bank, right? This is like, I'm still like within the route set and I'm still having to do all the stuff, helping the team, like all of that side of things. So that stuff still gets taken care of. It just means for me, it feels like the route setting, actual putting holes on a wall, I actually like appreciate a bit more, which is nice.
So the actual grafty bit is now lesser.
Yeah, and it feels like it's almost like it's sort of like put a new breath of fresh air in it in some regards, you know, because I actually feel like, oh man, I'm psyched for this now.
Yeah.
So, but your question about what I want to do, I mean, like, haven't really thought much. I mean, the biggest one is really like trying to push my climbing again. I think like I've sort of dropped off that a bit, so I'd like to go back into pushing that.
Yeah. Yeah, you and your missus both like climbing, eh? Both been working on it pretty rough the last couple months.
Yeah, she's crushing it, man.
Yeah.
She's definitely taken a jump up in terms of her ability recently, which is really cool to see. And I was saying this to her the other day, actually, like I feel like I get just as much satisfaction watching her get up her thing, her climb, as I do getting up mine now.
Yeah.
It's like, it's real nice little feeling.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at you becoming a man.
I know. Look at me doing things for other people and not just be myself.
Yeah, we're talking. There's some big changes on the cards this year. I reckon. Well, I won't say too much about your relationship on pod because it's stuff you might not have talked to her about and all the rest of it, and it'd just be fucking weird to bring it up now. But it does look like this might be the last year in this house. Either way,
Quite possibly.
looks like it, doesn't it?
Quite possibly, yeah. Yeah, unless something drastic was to happen.
Yeah, true. I mean, drastic things do be happening.
They
to be
do
fair.
be happening,
They do,
left, right, and centre.
They do occur.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've been really fucking balls deep recently. My new favourite influencer of the month is Dave Ramsey. You ever heard of Dave Ramsey?
I have not, no.
So Dave Ramsey is, if you wanted to narrowly categorise him, it would be kind of a get out of debt guy, if you know what I mean. Like, he's really good at getting people out of mountains of fucking debt, giving them a payment plan, strategy, or whatever. He would not describe it as that. He would describe it as, and rightfully so, he would describe it as like basically a wealth guy, but not a wealth guy in the sense of like your Grant Cardones who are saying getting loads of debt, or your fucking whoever else entrepreneur of the minute. He's like, basically, with your, imagine you aren't 1 in a million and get a fucking loads of money coming out of nowhere. Imagine you just have your job and that's what you work for the next 60 years. Here's how to become a millionaire on that, basically, or get as close to it as possible. He reckons that millionaire is easy peasy if you just put your investments in the right place. I've been listening to his audiobook recently, breaking down the numbers. It all makes sense to me. To be fair, a lot of the guys he has on do have, like, between the two of them, net incomes of 120, 180 grand a year, whatever. But that's in America, so things are, I don't know what the game is out there.
Yeah.
I know the average is 65. He's done it with people that have 65 incomes as well. But anyway, point is, obviously I've been thinking time to get on Property Ladder, and he's just fucking coming at the right time, because he's like, he says a lot of stuff that I would prefer to be true. Like, you don't have to go into loads of fucking debt and leverage your shit. Because I was just assuming, like, to be wealthy, you'd owe a lot of stuff, but you'd have a lot of assets to cover all them off. And so your net worth as total would be, you know, a millionaire. He's told me that there's a different way, and I like it. So that's what I'm doing at the minute.
Solid strat.
Yeah, so now I'm
Solid strat.
shopping at Lidl's, buying the cheapest fucking sausages, the cheapest fucking cheese, looking at the most value for money. I was pissed right off because Lidl's used to have tins of beans for 18p and now they're like 45. I was like, you bastards.
Oh,
You're stopping my...
You'll be in Poundland next.
Yeah, you bastards. Well, 100% I'll be in Poundland. If they had a Poundland nearby, fucking right, I'd be in there.
Yeah. So what's his, like... without giving away too much, I guess, or depending on, obviously it's his audiobook's there to be listened to, right?
Yeah.
Like, what's his, does the plan change depending on who you are and I take it like differs depending on what situation you're in? Or
No,
not really?
pretty much the only thing that differs as far as I can tell is the time it takes.
Right. Depending on how much debt you're in, presumably, or?
Yeah, and how much you earn.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Because his main thing is you have an income, that's your primary wealth building tool. So forget about everything else. That's the money that comes into your bank. Like, first of all, before we think about how we're going to become millionaires and win the lottery, how about we just don't piss away that money? Why don't we try that first? And that makes sense to me. That seems reasonable to me. Made me take a good fucking hard look at myself. Let me tell you, I didn't like that. But he's got this thing called the Baby Steps program, and I've got no business sharing his content and trying to make our own content out of it. But I will do it anyway in a rough nutshell. If you want to hear this full plan, if you're listening to this on shorts or podcasts, whatever, Dave Ramsey of Dave Ramsey Solutions, he is your guy. You should start fucking...
What's his audiobook?
Following him. The Baby Steps Millionaire is the one that I'm listening to right now. But he's got a couple. I've only just discovered him really in the last couple of weeks, so I don't know too much about him yet. But yeah, so step one is to have an emergency fund of at least £1,000 in your bank, so that if some shit goes down, you can pay for it, and you're not going to be immediately fucked by anything, like my dentist last year, for example. Step number two is aggressively get rid of all your debt, with the exception of mortgage. So any loans that you've got, anything like that, fucking just double down on getting rid of it. He talks about student loans as well. This is where I think that the UK, US market might differ a little bit, because to my mind, UK student loans just don't fucking need to be paid, because in 30 years they disappear anyway.
Yeah.
So I haven't done the maths to confirm this, but I imagine in the majority of cases, if you just pay the minimum amount that you need to pay off your thing, by the end of it, you're going to pay way less when it gets cancelled when you're 50 or whatever. So, but anyway, get rid of all your debt, have a clean slate. Step 3 is to get 3 to 6 months of expenses in your emergency fund. You know, that fund that was £1,000 a minute ago, basically make it like £6,000. Doesn't have to be, not like your current lifestyle. I mean, like emergency. Like if you fucking lost your job tomorrow, you would not be getting Domino's pizza. That level of money. And then what's the steps after that? That's really as far as
if you lost your job, you wouldn't be getting Domino's pizza anyway, because that ain't cheap.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Right. I see what
so
you
like,
mean.
just because you've got 10 grand in an emergency fund doesn't mean that you can still have Domino's.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like,
you go and piss it away.
Right now, monthly expenses may be like £2,000 a month.
Yeah.
But they're not going to be £2,000 a month if you're on your emergency fund. They're going to be like fucking 700 if you're lucky. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, then after that, it gets a bit confusing. I think I'm not far enough down the road yet, because I'm still in that building stage. But one of the things is get your mortgage paid off as quickly as possible. Like any extra money you have, like we're not going to pay council tax for the next 2 months. So like that, for example, is 300 quid that you could put into your mortgage. And because the thing I learned about mortgages is that when you first get one out, the majority of you'll pay £700 a month for 25 years. But in the first 5-10 years, most of that's going to be interest rather than actually coming off your initial capital. But then as you get closer to the end of your mortgage, it flips the other way eventually, because the balance makes it so that there's not so much interest now. So now the majority of it is paying off your mortgage. So in other words, the more you can get done faster, the less interest you're going to pay overall on your mortgage.
Yeah.
So even if like for the first 10 years you really fucking killed it and then slowed down for the second 10, that would be better, because you wouldn't be paying.
Trying to like outpace the interest essentially.
Kind of, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's all the stuff I'm really fucking excited about at the minute. This stuff just fucking gets me excited.
Yeah.
Even though it's fucking going to be miserable. But I think, with if the business continues to do well and I'm sensible with money and it's the right house and the right mortgage and I don't go too big too soon, I think realistically, I don't see that it's not possible to get a mortgage paid off in 10, 15 years. And that's what I'd like to shoot for. Like get a mortgage, get the monthly payments, but pay it off as quick as fucking possible, really. There you go, what do you think of that?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's an interesting thing.
I don't know how much, like, what your boundaries are with talking about money on the pod. Like, don't fucking, I don't know, what are they?
What, in terms of me personally?
Yeah. Like, what would you not say? Would you say and would you not say on the pod?
In what respect? What, as in what I'm spending my money on? Or like,
No,
I've already talked about that.
Like, would you say how much money I've got in the bank, or how much money I owe in loans, or would you give a fuck about that, or not really?
I mean, I don't really need to disclose.
I think that's what I feel like too.
I think I've mentioned it a few times in terms of what I've got money tied up in currently.
Yeah.
You nearly have to look out in the fucking car park of where we live to see that shit.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree. I'm kind of in a similar position now, where I'm now obviously trying to get rid of the van and get that loan so that it's not sat there. So that's kind of my strategy right now, is that aggressive, getting rid of that.
Yeah.
And then I can be back in the point of like, right, okay, let's start saving some money.
You've been quite sensible though. You haven't like.
It's a weird one, man. Like I think the way you are minded. I don't know where. I feel like it. I think you've told me this before, that it comes from your dad, in terms of I want to say your relationship with money, in terms of like what you've seen your dad do and then you've not done. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, so you've sort of learnt from that. I feel like I've kind of done a similar thing to what like my dad, it was always a joke when we were younger, like my dad was always like chopping and changing his cars and like going from one thing to another, right? So maybe I've like sort of slipped down that road slightly.
I got you. Yeah.
And then I've kind of like, I'm like, right, okay, let's just hold fire a minute here.
Yeah.
I've sort of caught myself before it's gone bad, you know? So,
and it could have gone a lot worse.
Oh, 100%, yeah. And I think that's where it's one of those things where it's like, it sounds bad and all the numbers and all that sort of, and obviously I've talked about this stuff, but in reality, I'm still here. I've still got, like, it's not like I've like pissed it all away and I've got nothing to show for it, you know what I mean? Like it's not the end of the world. It's just one of those spells where, you know, they talk about it with your 20s. Your 20s is all about experimenting with stuff.
Yeah,
and
I think so
it's
too.
like, you know, you're just learning, aren't you, at the end of the day? So if this is just a learning experience, well, that's fine. I'll chalk it up to learning, right? Like,
Yeah.
And then being a bit better with it and making sure that I'm making better decisions and all that sort of stuff. So, I mean, it's like, it's a funny thing. Vehicles is always a funny. I know we talked about this before in terms of like having them as assets, right? Like, they're a weird thing because if you get the right one, they can be quite good as assets, but it's a very niche thing that I feel like only works if you've got like money in other assets. Do you know what I mean? Like if your income is like 6 figures, and you've already got assets in terms of like you've got investments in businesses or whatever.
Yeah.
And you've got, I might be talking total shit here, but like, and you've got like passive income streams. Then you buy a car that is like a brand new car that is basically the ones that don't depreciate.
Which ones are those?
Not a lot. Well,
not any fucking brand new cars. Don't tell me there's a brand new car that don't depreciate. You're full of shit.
No, so not like brand new.
Yeah.
But the only ones that seem to hold their value are like the performance-based cars, right? Anything if you go out and buy like a diesel fucking, I don't know, Audi, right? That's like, you know, like a saloon or whatever, like a whatever. That will depreciate like, I mean, it's not going to hold its value. But if you've got, the reason why performance cars do well is because they're desirable, like people want them. So I don't know, it's one of those weird things in it. Like, and I'm not sat here saying obviously that like, I'm going to do that because it's not the kind of asset you want really, unless you, like I was basically, the reason why I think about it is because I was watching a video the other day of a car YouTuber that I watch, and he had a race of another guy, and this guy had a Lamborghini, and I remember him saying, he was like, this is like my most valuable asset. And I was kind of thinking about it. I was like, if that's he's like a famous, I think he's like a famous YouTuber, like business-based podcast YouTuber. Can't remember what his name is, but he was saying that his Lamborghini was like the most valuable asset he had. And I was a bit like, oh, that's a bit weird. Like, I don't really know why that would be the most, I guess it would be the most valuable asset because of how much it's worth.
Or like emotionally.
Or maybe that, yeah.
I don't fucking have any patience for, I mean, we've talked about it before, like outside of pod, I don't have any fucking patience for the idea that cars can make you money. I just really don't. I mean, car salesmen are one thing, but they are buying a car and they're trying to buy undervalued cars,
and flip
them as quick as possible for more.
Yeah.
They're not fucking driving around in them. Like, the idea that you're going to own a car that's going to appreciate over time, the odds of that are basically fucking zero, rounded down to the nearest whole number.
Yeah.
So like, in the world of wealth management and trying to fucking be wealthier generally, cars are not where I'm fucking looking. Cars are just a cost. It's like, what gets me to and from places the cheapest without being an absolute fucking shit heap.
It's interesting. But yeah, I think like I mean, we talked about this a few episodes ago. Like my goal this year is to sort of like, basically what you've just described there in terms of like almost like press the reset button, right? Like get reset back, feel a bit more.
There's plenty of time.
Comfortable.
We won't go into exact numbers, but I don't know how much you got left in that loan now, but it's not as much as it was when you took it out.
No.
So fucking sweet.
Yeah,
like, it's doable. I know what you took out. So it's doable.
Yeah.
Worth giving Dave Ramsey a fucking look up and having a go at some of his videos, his audiobooks.
Weirdly, to bring it back to fitness, I went for a run this morning. I went
for a run at 6 a.m. by the way. He won't tell you that, but I will.
Oh, I did go for a run at 6 a.m. Basically, going back to what you were talking about the first topic we were talking about on this podcast. In terms of like where your body's at and your mindset and how you're feeling. The weird thing I find, I don't know how you feel with running, but to me, running is one of the weirdest activities in terms of like how your mental state is. Because you're basically, to me, when you're running, you're going faster than when you're walking, right?
Hopefully.
But there is, hopefully, you'd like to think, otherwise you're not running, are you? Like, but there's a point, it's hard to articulate, but I feel like there's like a really thin line between you just keeping on running and then giving up.
Yeah. Sometimes.
It's like do you know what I mean?
The more you fucking think about it, the more you want to stop.
Totally, yeah. But I feel like because it's quite a monotonous thing, like it's essentially just putting one foot in front of the other. There's not really the like your brain is that far away from having those thoughts coming in.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like if you're doing many other sports, like I can compare it to climbing. With climbing, you're so engrossed in the climb and like the problem solving and trying to get up it, you don't really have time to think. So then those thoughts don't really come in. Whereas when you're running, you're essentially like doing the same thing over and over again.
I think it's probably you're just elongating the amount of time. So like that would probably happen in any sport the longer you do it. But because running you typically do for like anywhere between 30 minutes to like 30 hours.
Yeah.
Like you're obviously going to have more time to just sit and...
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's more boring than a standard fitness. But I've had feelings of I need to put this weight down on like rep 6 of barbell curls. Realistically, 10 reps is only going to take fucking 12 seconds, isn't it? So, yeah, that's probably the only exception I can think of. Otherwise, if you're in like a real sport, say real sport, right? Fucking like a team sport.
A real sport?
Yeah. Like if you're in fucking football or rugby or whatever, you're playing a game. Like you're playing chess as much as you're playing anything else. Running's easy as fuck when you're thinking about something. It's just when you're thinking about running, it sucks.
Yeah.
My heart rate will, if I start thinking about my breathing and my heart rate, and I look down at my watch, I can guarantee you it's fucking too high. If I'm doing the exact same pace in a world of my own, thinking about something, imagining some future situation, how I would deal with it, what would he say, and then what would I say back? And I look down and my fucking heart rate's the lowest it's ever been. It's just, that's how it is. The same speed, two different mindsets, it's just all completely in your fucking head, completely.
Yeah. It is amazing how mental running is. Mm-hmm. It's almost all mental. Because there's always the possibility to be able to keep putting one foot in front of the other. Yeah. You know?
That's the trade-off with aggressive music as well. Like sometimes, you get a song you really like yeah, and you get like goosebumps in your arm, you're like, woo!
Yeah.
The problem with that is my fucking heart rate goes up as well. There's nothing I can do.
Then you're sprinting and you're like, fucking hell, I'm not supposed to be sprinting.
Yeah, so I'll look down, I'll be like, right, I'm 157. I should be 150, but that's 7 BPM from the song, to be fair. Like when the song changes to a slower track, that'll probably come down. And then it fucking does. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's such a weird thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the one this morning, I think I did like 8Ks this morning. I added where we normally do our 5K bit, added like an extra bit further along, which was quite an easy little add-on. So.
Yeah, it's another one of those things where like running, that feeling of wanting to quit. It's another one of those things where you just have to know that you've done it before. That will really fuck you. If you're doing like a new distance that you've never done before, or you're running 2 days in a row for the first time, you'll be running the second day, you'll be like, oh, my legs really haven't recovered from yesterday, and oh, I don't know how this is going to go, and oh, I've got a fucking like cramp there, what's that all about? And like once you've done all those things at least once, like once you've had a cramp, ran through it and it's okay, once you've had a stitch, run through it and it's okay, and you know that those things don't fucking really matter. Those are not reasons to stop. And you also know reasons that there are to stop. Like, it just gets a bit easier, doesn't it? Like, there's some times where I go out on a 5K, having done 20Ks before. I think 30K is probably the max I've ever done. I don't know the exact thing, but 30K, like, all-time PB for distance, like, not quite a marathon, like 15 miles, something like that. 15 miles, I think, is a long... Was it? No, I did fucking 19, didn't I? Whatever the fuck. Let's say I'm doing 20 mile. Let's say I've done a 20 mile run in the past.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing a 3 mile run.
Yeah.
And halfway through the 3 mile run, it feels really, really hard. Well, it's not, is it? because I've done 20 miles. So I'm just being a fucking fanny.
That's what I was like this morning.
Yeah.
I was doing that and I was like, I'm doing 5K. Like I've done a half marathon on
like,
multiple occasions.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm just like what? I don't know. I know it's been like, because I've been it's the classic like inconsistency, isn't it? As well, that doesn't help. You know, when you've been like, because I think it's a classic thing with fitness, especially when you either stop something, and obviously like all the progress you've done sort of starts to drop off, or you've had an injury, or something that slows you down. As soon as you come back, you always automatically compare yourself to where you were. Yeah. And you're like, why? I used to be able to do this and now I can't. And I feel like as soon as I do that, it's a weird thing, right? Because it kind of goes against a little bit that thinking about the evidence. Mm-hmm. Because you can have on the one hand, you can be like, I've done this before. But then that can very quickly turn into, well, why can't I do it again?
Yeah.
You know what I
mean? The evidence there would be when you rebuild it again.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So you've had 6 months off. Like I do this now, because I've had breaks across my fitness career, if you like, if you want to call it a career. I know that within usually 2 weeks, at the most 6 weeks, I'm right back to where I was when I stopped. So like now, if I did take 6 months off, I'd be like, cool, I'm probably in for a 6-weeker here. Just fucking don't look at your numbers too much for 6 weeks. Do what feels right. Go easy on yourself, and then bang, it will come back. Running though, I find really hard when it's only one or twice a week. Like what you're doing now, I'm just miserable with that. I fucking hate it. I've been doing, started a 5K every day in January, and it's now the 24th of January. So this will be my 24th day doing it. And it's so fucking fun now. Something that I hated doing once a week, as soon as I switch it to every day, suddenly it's amazing. Now, what fucking sense does that make? I don't know. But I think just seeing...
becomes a routine, doesn't it?
Yeah, and like every day, this is the thing, like every day the runs actually get better. And there's like a little bit of fluctuation here and there, you know, a couple BPMs either side, but generally that trajectory, like week on week, is very, very clear.
Yeah, well, you're seeing it because it's a daily thing.
Yeah.
You're seeing the progression a lot easier than if you have big spells between each of those runs.
Yeah, and also I think it's so different to what I was expecting. I was expecting a deterioration over the, you know, it would start off easy, it would end really, really hard. And actually it's not. Not only has it been flat, like not only have I felt fresh every day, it's got better. So that's even sweeter.
I think there's something, and I could be completely bro science in this, but like endurance wise, I think they do say little and often is basically because you gain endurance quick, but you lose it quick. Yeah. It's a complete opposite to strength. Yeah. Whereas you gain strength slowly and you lose it very slowly. So with endurance, actually, if you can do that and you can do it like little and often and just like increase slowly but surely increase the amount of time you're doing it for distance, especially with running, it's probably a better way to go. It's probably the easiest way to build that stamina and endurance. So
yeah, it's just finding the daily amount that's not going to cause injuries. Yeah. And right now, 5K seems to be a pretty safe number. I'd be happy to do that for a long time. Like I'm not coming up to 31 days going, oh God, I can't wait for this to be over. Like, I feel like I'm probably just going to keep going. I was saying to you, like, when I hit January, maybe I'll take a couple of days off or whatever. I don't know if I will now. I don't really know how it's going to work. We'll see what time is saying, because that's the only thing. It's like a lot of time to be spending on road. But
yeah, that's the thing, innit? When you start doing something every day and you increase the, like, obviously as soon as you increase the distance, the time's going to increase. So
yeah, I'm not going to.
It becomes harder to fit that into your day, doesn't it? That's the thing.
I'm never going to run 10K in 30 minutes. So it's like,
yeah,
there's no world in which that gets faster significantly. And even if you run, like, the difference now between 10-minute miles and 9-minute miles, which is a huge change. That's the change that I've had so far, pretty much, like just over 9-minute miles. That's a huge fucking change in fitness. It saves me 1 minute on my run. It's like fucking...
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, actually, no, it saves a little bit more than that, doesn't it? Like 3 minutes. But 3 minutes fucking for all that extra work. Like a month of hard graft, and you save 3 minutes off your run. Like,
yeah.
You're not...
Well, that's like when the guys do the marathons and stuff, innit? When they do like the world record marathon runs. I mean, they're shaving times off, but it's the minimal amount of time. Yeah. Like it's not, it's this... Yeah, when you get up into that level, it's just like little increments
Yeah.
of time that you're shaving off in order to, it's not like someone comes in and smashes the world record by like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like...
Well, that's you're supposed to run slow, like for what we're trying to learn to do.
Yeah.
And that's it. When you run slow, you feel like fucking hell, it's going to take ages, but it's going to add like 2 minutes to your fucking time. I won't worry about it.
Totally.
So I got to keep that in mind because.
Well, I keep thinking that about the 100k because everyone goes, "Oh, 100k, that's like 8. Like, that seems so far," and you're like, "Well, it is when you say 100k, but when you actually break it down."
You could walk it and be done in 24 hours.
Totally, yeah. If you walked, all right, you'd have to walk constantly, probably for 24 hours.
Yeah.
But if you did that, you would do 100k.
Yeah, but you're not worried about the first 20k because the first 20k
you can do anyway.
It's only a half marathon. We've done that loads of times. So we're not worried about that. So, okay, in terms of having to walk for 24 hours straight, your first 20k is free.
Yeah.
And then if you walked from there, the rest of the time, you'd be done like with 2 hours to spare. So you'd have time for lunch and shit.
Even if you got like marathon, even if you got to a marathon pace, and you were happy doing marathons, well then that's what, what is marathon?
42k.
42k. Yeah, so it's almost half then.
Yeah.
Even if you ran a marathon and then walked the rest of it.
Yeah, it's like I think it's
walked the 60k.
2.5, just under 2.5 marathons, the 100k.
Yeah.
Yeah, 24 hours. Fucking bring it on.
I'm like massively underselling this.
Fuck it. Yeah, easy. How hard could it be?
Yeah.
How hard could it be?
Yeah.
Play this back. 7 months time.
Yeah.
You fucking play this back.
Yeah.
How hard could it be?
Yeah. When we do the video for the whole 100k, we'll take this short and we'll put it at the start.
We're gonna get absolutely fucking cocked.
Battered.
Never mind. I've got a game if you want to play it.
Oh, what kind of game?
Do you want to play a game?
Yeah, all right.
It's called Blind Rank. Have you seen this online?
Blind rank.
Yeah, so basically, what we'll do is we'll do a dummy round, and then you'll be able to.
Can we take a pause?
What, do you need a wee?
I'm going to go for a quick waz.
Oh, you fucking melt.
What's up, winners? If you're loving this podcast, make sure to drop us a 5-star review on Spotify. And if you aren't already, be sure to follow us on our social media channels. That's YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. 2 Beast Podcast, the number 2 Beast Podcast. Let's get back to the show. Everything's fucked.
Everything's fucked.
Nah, it's not. It's all right.
No, it's not fucked. Right. Right. Here's what we're gonna do now.
Apologies, everyone.
No. What we do
for the wee.
I reckon what we do is when you say, "Can I just have a waz?" I'll just say, "No, you can't," and then we'll seamlessly edit it so that it's like you didn't take a break.
Oh.
Yeah. So no, you can't. Fucking look at the expert editing on that. Right. Did he or didn't he? What else did we cut out? Who knows? With fucking skills like that, it's anyone's game.
Yeah.
Right, so this blind ranking game. I found this earlier. Well, I've seen some other people do it and I thought, yeah, we'd fucking have to go at this.
Right.
So we'll keep it easy, right? Sports.
Okay.
So basically, I'm going to give you 5 sports.
Yeah.
I'm going to give them to you one at a time, and you have to place them in the top 5. At any place in the top 5. But you don't know what the next one's going to be.
Oh, shit.
So,
okay.
In this example game, the first one's basketball.
Yeah.
Right? Now, you could say, basketball is the best game of all time. Let's put it at 1. But then the next one could be climbing. Well, now you've diddled yourself because climbing should be number 1, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
So you've got to kind of guess. Equally, you might play it safe. You might say basketball's 5, but then like some dog shit one comes in, like fucking badminton, and you're like, oh, bollocks.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's what we'll do.
Okay.
And these are in you're ranking this in what you would like to spend the most time playing.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So, okay. Number 1 of 5, football.
2.
He's ranking that at 2. Brave start. Brave opening to the game. All right.
I play to win, boys. I play to win.
The next one, sailing.
5.
You got with the extremes right off the bat.
I am. I'm all about it.
Mixed martial arts.
Ooh.
See, now you're in a position because is it better than football? Yes. But Do
Three.
you want to give away
Three.
the best spot? You would give me a pin at 3.
Bang
Right.
in the middle.
Okay. American football.
Oh, shit. 4.
So you've said that sailing is worse than American football. Do you
Yeah,
stand by that?
I'd rather play American football than sailing.
Really?
Yeah, I would, yeah. 100%.
Fuck that!
100%.
Sailing's sick as fuck, so free.
No, it's not.
You could go across the whole world with it. All right,
You could also fly around the world.
Well, yeah, not for free. Right.
Sailing's not free. You have to buy a boat. That's
Right.
well expensive.
Right. Well, yeah, you just steal one, don't you?
Oh, yeah, all right. Nice one.
So your last one is random
if
now.
you say golf, I will freak out.
So you've left your most favourite one
to last.
And it was basketball.
Oh,
well done.
you're joking.
You, a 5'4" fucking man, are going to be stuck playing basketball for the rest of your days. You silly cunt. Oh, there you
I'm
go.
up for the challenge.
What did you think of that? What
I'm
do you
up
think
for
of
the
that game?
challenge. Yeah, I like it.
Good game, right.
I'm up for the challenge.
I'll
mate.
do a
I'll
round.
play basketball for the rest of my life.
I'll do a round. Let's take. So I had a
Who
mode.
was the shortest basketball player ever?
I think he was 5'4".
Smallest basket.
Professional
Oh,
basketball.
yeah.
How about NBA? How about we just say NBA?
Smallest NBA player. Shortest NBA player. Muggsy Bogues. 5'3".
Oh,
Got an inch, mate.
how in fuck's name?
Got an inch, bruv.
He must have had some skill. Right. So see for this round of the game. In fact,
Manipulative and sneaky with height. That's what Sportskeeda is saying about it.
right. Enough of that.
Manipulative and sneaky.
Enough of your fucking pipe dream.
Sorry, carry
you
on.
made a mistake.
Sorry.
There's no
Yeah,
justifying it.
all right.
I'll do a fucking round, and then we'll do another round with a twist added on. See that popular button?
Yeah.
Just tap it, and then tap it again, and that will reset it so that I don't know what anything is. All right, go for
This has already started to put them in.
Oh, it does that. Oh, so how it works is...
Do I have to drag them into wherever?
No, you just hit the numbers below.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So when it comes up.
It says 3 right now or whatever,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
not actually in 3. It's not set until it's set in.
Okay.
Okay.
Your first one
Yes.
is
Between 1 to 5.
skiing.
Skiing. Now,
Yeah.
that's pretty fucking fun, I won't lie.
Yeah.
But is it the most fun I'd ever have? Probably not. If it was snowboarding, we might have a different story. I'm not good at neither, though. So I'm going to go with 3. Play it safe.
Okay. Number 2,
Yeah.
volleyball.
Volleyball is a hard 5.
Just going for 5. Okay, your next one
Yeah.
is a very British sport,
Okay.
cricket.
Cricket? Okay. You know what? The thing is, if I give it 4, then I'm like...
It's a tricky one, isn't it? It's a
I'm
tricky
basically
one.
playing gambles, aren't I?
Yeah.
But I don't really want to... What did I pick for 3?
Skiing.
Yeah, sweet. I'd rather ski than cricket, to be fair, so 4.
Okay. Next one,
This is just fucking picking 2 poisons now, isn't it?
rugby.
Oh, fucking hell.
Do you want to play rugby as your only sport for the rest of time? Or do you want to risk it and think that the other one is better?
The thing is, let's assume it's rugby for now, right? Let's assume it's rugby I have to do.
As in like number 1?
It's not bad, right? Mm-hmm. Because you do get to batter people.
You'd be alright, you got a good build for it.
But equally, everyone else has better builds for it, and
Yeah.
they would batter me.
Yeah.
So there's this trade-off with rugby. Yes, I can batter people, but ultimately, there's more of them than there are of me, and I'm going to get battered. There is a net negative on battering here.
Well, hold on, no, because you play in a team. It's not like you
I know,
versus like 11 other
I know that.
guys.
But if I've got the ball, fucking no one gives a fuck about my team, do they? They're just going to be coming for me.
Yeah.
So, and famous for head injuries.
Esther did say you'd be a good rugby player, actually, back along.
What do doctors know? No, I'm going to have to go 2. I'm going to have to take the gamble. I'd
All right.
rather have a safe shit sport than a fucking rugby.
He's gambling.
Yeah.
All right, your number 1
Yeah, come on. What have I
is canoeing/kayaking.
got? Hey, not bad. Not
It's
fucking
not bad. It's not bad, to be fair.
I'll go on some river adventures.
It's not bad.
I'm
yeah.
happy with
It's a
that.
pretty chill one to have, to be fair.
Right, now, round 2.
Yeah.
I'll give it back here. We're gonna play with higher odds now because right now we've had this little menu ticked called popular choices.
Yeah.
We're gonna take that off now. So now it could be fucking anything. Fuck knows what we're gonna get. Table tennis is probably on the cards now.
Curling.
Curling's on the cards now. Curling 1 out is probably on the cards now. Right, here we go. Let's just make sure we've got enough time for this. Yeah, we do. Just about. Right.
Same topic. Okay.
Same topic.
Okay.
Okay. This is going to be a tough one for you to open up with.
Oh, no.
You've got to really decide hard here. Auto racing.
What is it?
Car racing.
Right, okay.
But it could be motorbike racing. Could be whatever. So you like that.
I have always wanted to be that.
So you could.
If I had to reset my life again,
and you got a decent build for it.
yeah. Do you know what? Number one.
Number 1.
Number one.
Number 1. No
Doing
gambles
it.
here.
I'm doing it.
Fair
if I had
enough.
to do it for the rest of my life,
Yeah,
crack on.
Oh, see, you got some strong ones here. The niche sports are really better than the classics.
Yeah. I don't know how canoeing / kayaking is like a popular one.
You fuck knows.
Surely that's quite niche.
I don't know, like mums do it or something. I don't know.
We didn't have like tennis or anything like that, did we?
Well, not on our rotation.
no, that's true. Yeah.
Right.
Go on,
Okay, your next one, archery.
Do I want to be known as Robin Hood for the rest of my life?
Maybe. Be pretty fucking sweet. You'd also be hunted by the bourgeoisie, but never mind.
I mean, is it archery as in just like firing at targets, or is it like hunting? You know, like Rogan does?
No, I'm seeing a picture here of a target, so it's archery like.
Kind of loser archery.
yeah. It's loser archery.
It's not the cool shit like Cam Haines and Rogan do.
No,
you know what I mean?
no, it's just archery. It's
Fuck.
not bow hunting, it's archery.
It's not bow hunting, yeah. 4.
4? I thought you rank it higher than that.
Nah, 4. Again, if it was bow hunting, 2.
Yeah, well, no.
But it's not.
Fucked, because you got ice hockey.
That's a savage sport. Oh, fuck.
Ice hockey. I mean, ice hockey, notorious as well for big aggressive men fighting.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've got this
Very
one.
rarely do they actually play ice hockey. It just seems like they fight each other most of the time.
I don't think you should do this. I think
5.
this is head
5.
injury game.
Yeah, 5.
Right.
Don't give me like fucking poo sticks or something next.
This is pretty close to poo sticks. It's field hockey.
Oh, God.
You quite literally got poo sticks.
Oh, is that as in like hockey that we play in this country?
Hockey on the floor, in the grass, basically. Imagine ice hockey, but it's not on ice. It's on grass.
Okay, well that's a little bit nicer. I think there's less fighting involved in that
it's
one.
general,
So
it's general.
we'll go 3.
You got a good rotation here.
We'll go
You're
3.
Gambling your second one.
I'm
though.
gambling it. We'll
You
go
ready,
3.
Ready
Yeah.
to see what you got for 2?
Yeah, go on.
Right. You think the following sport is better than ice hockey, archery, and field hockey? I think archery is where you've made the big mistake.
I think I probably have.
You've got handball.
Oh, that's a
You
bit-
think handball is better than field hockey, archery, and ice hockey. The only thing I would change about that is archery I'd put in 2, handball I'd put in 4. Otherwise, I think you got a decent,
Yeah, agreed.
decent
But
rotation.
there we go.
But you can't- that's the game.
That is the game. The game is the game.
We can do up to 10, by the way. We can rank things in 10.
Shit,
but
that would
we'll-
be harder.
We'll stick to 5s for now.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I got weightlifting, but I looked at it myself.
Oh, we won't be
Not
having
even
that.
an
We'll be
easy
changing
one.
that.
So, yeah, just tap it to popular and then turn it off again. That's how I reset it. I don't know how you're supposed to reset it, but I do.
I won't do that. Okay. Something that we used to do that we've dropped off.
Oh, God.
Very, but like, just non-existent now. No. Swimming.
Oh, fuck. Right, see, swimming, if it's going to be a career sport, it's going to involve the ocean at some point. The ocean, I've decided, terrifies me. Equally, there's only one way to get over the fear, but for self-preservation purposes,
It's quite a useful life skill.
I'll whack it in 2.
2.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
I'll whack it in 2. I'd love to be good at it.
Okay.
I'm just scared of it.
Okay. One you've already mentioned.
Yeah.
Table tennis.
Oh, fuck. You know what?
I quite like table tennis.
Look, it's not a glamorous sport.
No, it's not. You're not going to win millions, are you?
No one's going to be throwing panties on the stage
No.
for a table tennis player.
But you could go to the Olympics.
That's fucking ridiculous. But I think what I do like about table tennis is it's safe.
Yeah.
Not likely to pick up any head injuries.
No.
I'm not likely to get any injuries. So it's not going to stop me from living every day. I'm not going to likely blow out my legs and fucking have to walk around on crutches.
No.
So from a functional perspective,
Yeah.
it is going in 3. But I'm holding out for 1. I'm holding out for 1 being weightlifting.
You've got skiing again.
Okay, well.
Which is weird given the fact that they said skiing, but the picture they're showing is snowboarding.
It's a new game.
Yeah.
There's new comparables.
Yeah. Where would you put it now? You put it in 3 last time, I think. Yeah, middle of the road. Obviously, you've put table tennis in 3.
I put table tennis in, yeah. I think skiing's still quite fun, but now the injuries are back.
Yeah, if you're thinking about it from an injury perspective, it's quite high injury likelihood with the old skiing.
I'm going to play it. I'm going to play 2, 3, 4.
So you're going to have the best and the worst is apparently in the next 2. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, he's playing it risky. Oh. Okay, now you've really got to choose.
Okay.
Your next one is volleyball.
Oh, fuck. Mate, it's got to be 5. There's no shot I'm willingly choosing. See if I picked something out, some other bollocks was up there, and I put that in 5.
Yeah.
And then volleyball was thrusted upon me by the force of the gods.
Yeah.
Fair enough, game over. But when I've still got a fighting chance to avoid volleyball, there's no fucking shot I'm willingly going to sacrifice my life to play volleyball.
Okay.
It's going in 5.
That's your final answer?
Yeah.
Don't want to phone a friend?
No, fuck off. Just put it in 5.
Okay. Oh!
What have I got?
Oh, I think you'll be happy with this. Golf.
Fucking, yeah. Why not? Mate,
Yeah.
rich people, chill vibes.
Yeah.
Whack balls really hard.
Yeah.
No injuries.
You've played it before.
Fucking fantastic.
There you go. It's a pretty good list.
Fantastic. There you go.
was
What's about
pretty
that
good.
for a game? It's
That was
good, isn't
good.
it? So we can do. We're coming up to the end, by the way. We've got like 2 minutes left of the pod.
Do another round. Do another round.
No.
Go on, round 3.
We'll save it for next time. But what
like
we'll
that
do
game.
is I'll show you this. So we've got a bunch of different categories. We might have to find a different one though, because sports was really the only one that everyone could kind of understand, including me. There's some other ones on here. Fortnite skins.
Oh, for God's sake.
Sidemen moments. NBA players, MMA fighters you'd probably be good at.
Yeah.
I have no fucking clue. So there's different options. There's also special categories. Oh, there's TV and cinema. Okay, there's stuff we can do. Music,
Oh, nice.
celebrities, attractive men, attractive women. So we can play...
Brave.
Yeah,
It's
it is
brave, that
it
one. That is
yeah.
brave.
We'll have to ask for relevant permission first. I
That's
think.
brave. That is a brave choice for a fucking pod.
Or just go men and just know that like we're not going to get in trouble that way. Food, internet stuff. So I'm going to keep a hold of this link.
There's plenty.
Yeah. So we'll do these. Other pod related news. I think 30 is a good opportunity to cut some stuff. I think we should bin off the AI section.
Well, we said that anyway.
Yeah.
That's done.
Because so far we have only done 1 episode's worth of AI, right? We are 10 episodes behind on shorts. We have enough shorts to keep posting.
Yeah.
But in terms of us actually going through and editing the shorts, we're 10 episodes behind.
Yeah.
So realistically, when are they going to get fucking edited?
Never.
By the time we actually post them, we can never really be fucked to do the extra editing into those shorts at the minute because our workflow doesn't really allow it. Mm-hmm. And so who knows? By the time we actually get around to this episode being posted, this could be majorly disappointing news. That could be the best fucking segment we've got. And if it is, we'll bring it back.
Yeah.
But right now, we just aren't fucking actually going to make the images and it's costing us 30 quid a month.
Yeah.
So, fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that feels good. That feels good to get rid of that. We'll do all the ones we've done already.
Yeah, well, they're free.
Yeah, well, I have already cancelled the subscription, so what I'm going to do is wait until they're all fucking, like, we've got all of the lists.
Yeah.
And then I'll buy it for that month, and do that, because it'll probably take us like 6 months before we get there. I'm not going to pay for it until we get around to it.
Yeah. Well, you only need the images, and then that's it.
Yeah, and then we just bounce. Yeah, exactly. So,
the last thing.
Oh, fuck, yeah, I forgot about this.
The last thing.
Yeah.
You may have heard us for many, many months now talk about forfeits for these weekly challenges, right?
Indeed.
Basically, we've been putting it off for ages, and now we've found like a click to spin type wheel generator.
He's fucking done it.
All right. Now, I've got a few on here to start off with.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Yeah.
All right.
What's on there so
Currently, we've got 48-hour fast, 24-hour fast.
Oh, Jesus.
Half marathon, and wasabi.
That's fucking class.
Now, what we will do between now and next episode is fill this with a lot more stuff.
Populate it, yeah.
Yeah, populate it with stuff that's a bit less savage than what's currently on there.
Oh, no, that's a good level. 24-hour fast is easy. I'll be happy with that. Wasabi, easy.
Yeah.
Half marathon,
easy.
Doable. Marathon's a bit shit. 48-hour fast is a bit shit.
Yeah, the marathon, 2 in blue are shit.
To be honest, marathon is the only one that we've never done before that would really be a fucking brutal resistance.
Yeah.
But the others we've at least done them before. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we have got a couple more things to put on there, haven't we?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
It's all about to kick off, ladies and gentlemen.
It's all about to kick off.
It's all about to kick off.
It's all about to kick off. Well, there you go. So next episode, we will be finally go, and it will be good to do that next episode because we'll find out whether or not we owe one from January or not. January's challenge, which is of course to be stretching every day. I don't know how you're doing with it.
It's not been every day.
It's not been every day for me neither. About 8 days now, I think.
Right, good.
8 or 9 days. But
basically, we're at 3 forfeits.
Well, we'll decide because we'll see what we're feeling like because we've had a good month.
Yeah.
And the aim was to get better, get more flexible.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll pitch to each other what our efforts have been.
Yeah.
And then we'll ultimately decide, does it count, does it not? We'll see what the wheel's looking like. If it's all fucking 48-hour fasts and marathons.
I'll stick to my 2.
You know what I mean? I don't know if it's like justified.
Yeah. If
we've put a decent amount of effort in, we missed a couple of days. I mean, then again, it's not a challenge, is it? So, yeah. I think it's probably 3. Yeah, but we'll see. We've still got time to pull it back.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put any effort into pulling it back.
No, me neither.
I'm just gonna hope that I'm more flexible at the end of it.
Yeah, I just hope that I have to eat a sachet of wasabi and then.
Yeah, to be fair.
Get on with it.
But we've got 3. We're likely gonna have 3 forfeits each to do next time. Look forward to that. See you next week. Have a good week. Bye for now.
Peace out.
Thank you for listening to the Two Beast podcast. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share this podcast on whatever your preferred platform is. We'll see you next time. All the best.